The movie starts by introducing us to Speed, a little boy who has difficulty solving his math problems and completing his tests. He is obsessed with car racing. He does not take interest in his studies or any other activity. This becomes such a huge problem, such that the principal calls his mother to school and complains about her son's wandering mind and imagination. We discover that the family has a legacy in car racing, as the father is an automotive designer and Speed's older brother, Rex, is a professional racer. Speed idealizes his elder brother Rex, who usually picks him up from school. Speed begs his brother to take him to the racing track, but Rex is worried, as it could be dangerous. Speed promises to listen to his orders and not tell their dad about the adventure. Rex finally agrees and grants his little brother the wish he wanted. Speed holds the steering wheel as Rex offers him important advice on how to stay calm and properly control a race car. Years later, Speed is an adult and a fan-favorite professional driver. He is participating in a race, and the commentators gush about his skills. One commentator hopes that Speed won't repeat the same mistakes committed by his brother. A flashback from his youth indicates that someone tries to attack them with a bomb in a gift box. When Rex brings Trixie home to show off his father's vehicle collection, but Rex throws the device away just in time for the explosion. Rex tells him about leaving home after a few days have passed. He hands him the keys to his Mach 5 race vehicle and cautions him not to believe anyone who could be speaking ill of him. He walks outside after packing up his belongings and tells his father that he is giving up the race. Pops begs him to remain, but he refuses and departs, claiming he wants to spend his life how he pleases. Speed receives word that Rex made an illegal maneuver during a race, resulting in several crashes. Rex is subsequently disqualified, making him an outcast in the racing world. Everyone begins to talk about him, and his case is investigated. Rex then perished in a vehicle collision during Casa Cristo, a risky cross-country rally, just a few days later. Currently, because Speed is seen as a rising racing talent, numerous fixers and sponsors are after him. One day, E.P. Royalton approaches Speed's crew, which includes his father, Pops, his mother, younger brother Sprittle, their pet monkey Chim Chim, mechanic Sparky, and his childhood sweetheart Trixie, all meet at the kitchen table for breakfast. He arrives with a fantastic offer and identifies himself as the owner of Royalton Industries. In exchange for a lot of money, fame, and an opulent lifestyle, he gives him the chance to race with him, but Pops reminds him they always compete as independent racers. He invites them to his automobile manufacturing business after observing their confusion and demonstrates that they have the quickest functioning mechanism and can construct a car in just 36 hours. He also gives them a tour of his training facility, where their drivers receive instruction on how to handle the pressures of racing. He introduces Speed to Cannonball Taylor, another outstanding racer, and Speed is stunned by his racing prowess. Taylor invites him to join the group as well, claiming that Speed hasn't made up his mind. As Royalton tries to persuade Pops, he tells him that Speed should make the decision and that he will support him no matter what. Speed informs Royalton that he is grateful for his offer and will give it some thought in the near future. A racer in a mask is chasing the gang in a truck, while another racer, Tijo, is being tormented by the gang. He saves Tijo and advises him to enlist assistance if he wishes to fight them, but Tijo rejects the offer. When Trixie inquires about his strategy during their discussion of the offer, he replies that he is considering joining Royalton because they have one of the greatest teams and have won several championships. Although he has never cared whether he wins or loses, he believes it is critical to think about if he wants to continue racing. When Speed meets Royalton, he is assured that accepting the agreement would change the course of his family's destiny. Speed informs him that because racing is their life, neither he nor his father can make this decision easily. They have lost a lot since Rex passed away, yet they still can't stop racing, since it is in their blood. He informs him that Pops regards racing as a religion and does not believe in being associated with corporations, thus he cannot accept the offer. When Royalton hears this, he becomes enraged and informs him angrily that the Grand Prix is usually manipulated by businesses in order to maximize profit. He tells him that it is not just about the race, but that everyone is more obsessed with power and money. He offers the lucrative business again, but Speed declines and departs. Enraged by his refusal, Royalton orders one of his drivers to wreck Speed's car during a race, causing him to lose his beloved Mach 6 in the process. Pops receives a court notice shortly after the race, alerting him that he and his firm, Motor Racer, have been accused of intellectual property infringement. Speed recalls Royalton's warnings and realizes he is the source of all this mayhem. He tells Mom that it's because he refused to sign a contract with him, and Royalton was correct, because racing is all about power and money. When she finds him unhappy, she reminds him about Rex and tells him that she and Pops are proud of both of them. She tells him that they will work things out and that all they need to do is remain together. The next day, a masked figure known as Racer X approaches their doorstep, accompanied by Inspector Detector, the chief of an intelligence agency's corporate crime branch. He informs them that racer Tijo Tagakan has evidence that can be used to indict Royalton. Still, he would only provide it to them if Speed and Racer X join his team to participate in the forthcoming Casa Cristo rally, which will help improve the stock values of his family's racing firm. Speed's parents are angry when they learn about the rally because they lost Rex in the same. Pops refuses to let Speed compete, claiming that he has already lost one of his kids and cannot stomach another. Detector asks Pops to consider it and get back to him later, but Pops again declines the request. Speed lets Trixie know that he intends to join Tijo's squad, but he keeps Pops in the dark, since he is aware that Pops will never permit him to do so. He claims that Royalton is attempting to cause trouble for his family, and that he wants to take part in the race to beat him. She hesitates, but agrees with his choice and plans to accompany him. He runs across Detector again, who applauds his choice to join them. But he explains that he is just doing it for his family, because he wants Royalton to atone for what he did to them. They give him a briefing on the rally and the various driving strategies. He is advised that many drivers employ covert methods and devices to get an advantage over rivals. Therefore, he must exercise caution during the race. Haruko, one of Tijo's sisters, approaches him and suggests that they use Speed for their own ends, but he claims he has no other option. Sprittle notices his automobile in the race as the rally gets underway and informs Pops about him. Cruncher Block, a fixer, is paying a lot of drivers to defeat Speed in the race. Another team takes the lead at the end of the first day. Speed and Racer X make Tijo unhappy, but they reassure him that they will return the next day. Speed tells Racer X that they made a good team and that he had the impression that they had been friends for a very long time. As he exits the building, Speed does not focus much on him, although he does appear a little perplexed by him. Speed discusses him with Trixie and discloses that they were both aware of one another's next maneuvers. Speed believes he could be his brother Rex, since he feels so similar to him. She does not believe him, since he was buried after the crash, but Speed feels it is plausible, because they were unable to identify the body. After all, it had been fully burned. Speed learns about the arrival of his family while they chat. Pops expresses his rage at him for not seeking his permission before entering the race, but Speed tells him that he wants to put things right for his family, because he believes he is to blame for their problem. He disagrees with him and invites him to return home with them, but Speed refuses and gets into a disagreement, but Mom steps in and urges him to finish the race, so they can return home together. Pops inquires about Mach 5, and Speed informs him that certain changes have been made. At night, their squad is assaulted by ninjas, who inject Tijo with a narcotic. They attempt to do the same to Speed, but he and his family fight back, causing them to flee. They assemble in Tijo's room to discuss the problem, because he is no longer able to drive. Trixie takes over driving the vehicle in Tijo's absence, and they take the early lead. They are attacked by Cruncher and his men while traveling through, but they fight back and are apprehended by Detector. The race restarts, and Speed wins after shocking everyone with his incredible abilities. When they approach the victory stand, Racer X reminds Tijo that they have completed half of the task, and it is now his turn. They soon discover that Tijo has exploited them to boost the stock prices of his company in order to gain from Royalton's buyout. Speed went to the track where he used to go with Rex after becoming frustrated by the reality. Racer X shows up shortly after and issues him a brief challenge. He admires him after the race, but Speed approaches him and begs him to see Rex for who he really is. He takes off his disguise, and when Speed recognizes him as someone else, he tells him that Rex indeed passed away in the collision. He claims that because he attempted to change, his brother would be proud of him. Speed claims that since racing will never change, it makes no difference, and his brother's life was taken in vain. He is told by Racer X to remain loyal to himself, since that is all that matters. Speed wonders why he should keep competing if he won't make a difference, but the driver urges him to come up with his own explanation. Speed prepares his belongings and prepares to go, but Pop stops him and says he is proud of him for doing what he felt was right. He acknowledges his remorse and admits that he still regrets choosing his company over Rex. Haruko appears as they are conversing and expresses regret for what they did to them. She hands him Tijo's rejected Grand Prix invitation and invites him to participate. In just 32 hours, the entire family works together to construct a racing vehicle. Meanwhile, Tijo has joined forces with Royalton and his associate. Speed comes to the Grand Prix with his family and requests permission to participate. Detector notifies the official that Speed has accepted the offer, and if they refuse his desire to join, the race will be halted until the inquiry is completed. Authorities have no option but to allow him to race. Royalton proposes a $1 million incentive for the driver who takes him off the track, after exhausting all other options. Drivers are eager to grab the reward and do everything they can to defeat him, but he manages to take the lead and races head-to-head with Royalton's driver, Taylor. When he approaches, Taylor uses a device known as a speed hook to secure his car to Mach 5. Speed discovers the gadget and uses his jump jacks to expose it to cameras, forcing Taylor's automobile to crash. He not only exposes Royalton's cheating, but also wins the race by a wide margin. Racer X smiles as everyone comes around him to congratulate him on his victory. Detector inquires whether he intends to meet him. It is revealed that he is Rex, who pretended to pass away in a car accident and had plastic surgery so that no one would remember him. He chose not to convey the truth, since they had become accustomed to life without him. Speed's family can't believe it. They embrace and celebrate this victory. Speed kisses Trixie as he has achieved his dreams. He also got his brother back and can spend happier times with Trixie. The movie ends with Tijo testifying against Royalton, which leads to him spending a lot of time behind bars.